I have Amy here with me again, and we'd love to answer any questions you have about our board program. There's still time to submit some questions, so if you'd like to use that chat function on your screen, please submit some questions now. We have had some questions come through already. One of the first questions we've had come through is, are there really dogs in the boarding house? I think I'll let Amy answer that one.
Yes, we've even got new dogs come in, but our main dogs are Edna and Barney. We have walks to Parliament together, walks around Deakin to Monica. Oh, they're beautiful, love them. They're always in the courtyard, always ready for a hug. And then we've got two new additions, Archie and Pippa, who are one of the tutors' dogs. And they come around and mug roll, or they're in the courtyard, and they're great. It's awesome to have dogs.
That's great. Although you do end up carrying Barney most of the way on the walks, don't you?
Definitely. He'll walk and then just stop. Like, come on, Barney! And then just stop.
And I think you answered this question a little bit earlier, Amy, but somebody has asked, is it easy to make friends in the boarding house?
It's impossible not to. I mean, you're around these girls 24/7, and dinners together, breakfast together, parties together. You form more than friendships. It's very fun and very easy.
That's great. Another question we've had is around interaction between boarders and day girls. So each day, obviously, the boarders set off to school with the day girls, and part of Canberra Girls Grammar School pastoral care structure is that each girl belongs to a house. So within that schoolhouse, there are a mix of day girls and boarders. So naturally, everybody gets to know each other quite well throughout the day, the mix. Day girls are also allowed to come into the boarding house. They can be invited in as friends of the boarders, so that works really well. Amy, how have you found interactions with day girls?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's definitely a rivalry. They want to be us. House music's always the best. But yeah, there's obviously, we're so close. I've got day girl families, in fact, and they're just wonderful. They're so easy and understanding. Like, they understand it can be a bit hard sometimes being away from home, and it's really nice because they've got like a different kind of thing. They can take you out for dinner with their family. And yeah, I love my day girl friends.
That's great.
Yeah.
Another question we've had is, we're from country New South Wales. Canberra's much bigger than our local town. So how safe will my daughter be? I guess here in Canberra, we like to say Canberra is like a big country town. I guess we've got all the facilities of a modern world city, but it's very small and safe. The streets are quiet, so that your daughter ultimately will feel a lot safer being here. Within the boarding house itself, we have a lot of security that goes in terms of entry and exit to the boarding house. It has to be done by swipe cards, so the girls aren't able to go in and out themselves without being signed in or out. And there's also some fairly rigorous checking process around girls taking leave. But Canberra is generally safe, quiet city for students to be in. It's very safe travelling on public transport. We do have our own boarding house bus, which is a personalised transport service. So our boarders don't rely on public transport to get to and from co-curricular. We have a bus which takes our boarders wherever they need to go of an afternoon or on a weekend, whether it be a medical appointment or a training.
Yeah, just like the only concern you have in Canberra is missing your bus. That's it. It's so safe. We can go out to Civic, which was, for me, small country town, that was so scary at first, but everyone, and it is like a big country town. Yes. Everyone, and it gets around really well.
Okay. And another question we've had come through is, where do most of your boarders come from? Most of our boarders come from regional and rural areas around New South Wales. We also have cooperative families who are part of the international posting areas with Defence or DFAT, and some day girls who join us too. They come into the program because they find that living in school and on campus is much easier, and it's much more structured in terms of them being able to get their work done and more time efficient. In terms of another question that's just come through is social life outside of boarding life. Amy's probably good to speak about that one.
Okay. Well, definitely. I know my group of friends. We always have breakfasts together or dinner parties. So I definitely can get that. We get pink leave so we can go out and stay at our friends' houses. We get to sign out to Monica, to Civic, to anyway, Fish Week. We can do that on the weekend, go for shopping leave, and yeah.
And then we each weekend we usually have an outing, so the little boys go out. We go out together, whether it be mini golf or laser tag or a picnic by the lake. There's always some
something.
options
Yeah, there's always
as well, so that girls can continue to meet up with friends and boys outside of the routine of school and boarding. And another question is, how long can you have your device?
Oh, well, I'm a senior, so I can keep my devices all night. The Wi-Fi shuts off at a certain time to ensure we get our proper sleep. Juniors vary.
Yeah, so juniors from year 7 to year 10, you have to hand your devices in between 8:45 and 9:15. Then, so they're held with us overnight and they're charged, and then the next morning at 7:30 when you wake, and as long as you're ready for school, then you're able to pick your device up again, and you'll have it with you throughout the school day. Now, mobile phones aren't allowed to be used at school, but you can keep them in your phone, in your pocket or your school bag. But then you pretty much have it every other time. It's just for that period of going to sleep at night time. So I've got one more question I think that's come through. And that is around food and diet. So if you're training, then early, what extra food does the boarding house provide to help you on your way?
Well, I know this is I train 3 times a week, 5:30 in the morning. So the night before, when we get our early morning sign out, we get a juice or a milk, a muesli bar, and sometimes like a little fruit, and yeah, like 3 things. A good little breakfast handy on the way. Yeah, that's great.
We've loved having you visit our boarding house today, and we hope you've enjoyed our tour. If you are interested in joining our boarding program or you'd have got further questions, then we encourage you to contact our admissions team using the links on your screen. We'd also like to hear from you about how the tour was from you and invite you to submit some feedback through a short survey that we have. And again, the link for that is on your screen down below. So once again, thank you, and we look forward to you joining our boarding house community.
Thank you.
Thank you.